Again, I'm blessed with another one. You don't know. So this one is coming from Markets Insider, and obviously we're just reading here. We don't know how true these stories are, but it's definitely interesting, right? And this is we stay above everybody else because most people are blindly investing. They're not reading, and because reading is fundamental. You know, as you can see when you look up on my browser there, what browser am I using? The Brave. I'm using the Brave, baby. So Brave is another blockchain technology that offers um free what do you call it, and even VPN browsing, right? Browsing capabilities. So as you can see, most of my videos, all of my videos, I've done it on Brave. And to the top right on corner, it's a symbol for Brave. So let's dive into this read here. Russia and Iran plan a gold-backed stablecoin, while Brazil and Argentina seek a shared currency. Here are five rising threats to here are five rising threats to the dollar's dominance of global trade. Dive into this article here. Hopefully, it's not a long one because we're reading a long reading today. You see me, I say? You see me, I say? You see me, I say? It doesn't seem like it's a long one. Let's go into this. The dollar's dominance of global trade and investment flows is facing a slew of new threats as many countries push plans to boost the use of alternative currencies. Nations from China and Russia and India and Brazil, it's funny because that's literally just make up the Brics. So from China, Russia, India, Brazil are pushing for settling more trade in non-dollar units. Why are they doing this? Because stop using the dollar as a form of justification. Stop using the dollar as a form of weaponizing. With this blockchain solution here, a lot of countries is are going to start looking beyond the dollar. Hence why the government, I believe, my opinion, is going to rush the process of regulation to try to control this market. Because if they don't, it's going to get out of their hands. They're not going to have control over the money anymore, right? And I believe that CBDC is going to give cryptocurrency a run for its money, and they need to regulate CBDC immediately. So anyway, so nations from China, Russia, and India and Brazil are pushing for settling more trade in non-dollar units, with plans ranging from the use of local currencies to a gold-backed stablecoin and a new Brics reserve currency. Well, they've been talking about this joint for over 10 years now. We're just seeing the details of it. For decades, the greenback has reigned supreme as the world's reserve currency, and it is widely used in cross border trade, especially for commodities such as oil. So, thanks to its relative price stability, investors see it as a safe haven asset in times of heightened economic and geopolitical uncertainty. The dollar was further bolstered last year by a surge in U.S. interest rates that made it attractive to foreign investors seeking higher yields. It surged 17% during the first 9 months of 2022, but has since lost some of its shine on the prospect that the Federal Reserve may soon end its rate hikes as inflation cools rapidly. We'll see about that. Against this backdrop come the latest threats to the greenback's reign. Here are five currency projects from across the world that are ultimately aimed at undermining the dollar's supremacy. So Brazil and Argentina plan a common currency. And what are the common currency that Brazil and Argentina is planning? Brazil and Argentina recently announced they are gearing up to launch a joint currency named the SUR. Sure. I guess in I guess that means South. That could eventually become a euro-like project embraced by all of South America. A common currency could help boost South American trade, the country's leaders said in the joint statement, because it evades conversion costs and exchange rate uncertainty. hmm So anyway, that could erode the dollar's dominance in the region, given the greenback accounted for as much as 96% of the trade between North and South Americas from 1999 to 2019, according to the Federal Reserve. So Russia and Iran eye a gold-backed stablecoin. How true is this? We don't know, but let's continue reading. So, Russia and Iran are working together on a cryptocurrency backed by gold, a stablecoin that could replace the dollar for payments in international trade. The two countries, both of which have been hit by Western sanctions, want to issue a token of my battery's dying. Wants to issue a token of the Persian region for use in cross-border transactions with a plan to launch it in a special economic enclave in Afghanistan in southern Russia, which already handles Iranian shipments. But the project can move. The project can move forward only once Russia markets for digital assets is fully regulated, according to Moscow lawmaker. Russia and Iran have stepped up their push to de-dollarize in recent months, according to the think tank, the Jamestown Foundation. They aim to increase their volume of trade to $10 billion per year via moves such as developing an alternative international payment system to SWIFT, which they are banned from. See? How are you going to ban other nations' money and think that they're just going to sit in the dark and wait for what? There's another solution in front of you right now. And all of these countries are jumping on it because they don't like the weaponizing of this money, and they don't like the you know the dictatorship of this money. So UAE, and UAE, India look at using rupees in non-oil trade. So meanwhile, in the United Arab Emirates and India have floated the idea of conducting non-oil trade in rupees. The move would build on a free trade agreement signed last year, which aims to boost trade, including oil, between the two countries to $100 billion by 2027. China has also pondered on the idea of settling non oil trade in local currencies that exclude the greenback, according to Minister of State for Foreign Trade of the UAE, Tani bin Ahmed Al Zayodi. Whoa, that's a lot of names, man. So anyway, China pushes for the yuan to replace the dollar in oil trades. Guys, come on now. You can't have one currency just like dominating and then you're using that one currency as a weapon to dictate what other countries are going to do, and not expect these other countries are going to start looking into other resources to actually to actually that are going to give them that independency to exist as a country. Come on now. You Let's use our common sense to know what's to come. China, for another, is looking to weaken the dollar by pushing for the yuan to replace the greenback in oil deals, given its increased trade with Russia after it invaded Ukraine. The move looks to so the move looks to chip away at the petrodollar regime in place since the 1970s, where global oil transactors, oil transactions. So this is the reason why I needed to continue the consistency of reading. I took a break of reading for about a week, and look at me now, freaking rusty. So anyway, let's start this again. Uncut. Anyway, so the move looks to chip away at the petrodollar regime in place since the 1970s, where global oil transactions are largely settled in dollar. So toward the end of last year, Beijing began buying Moscow's crude at steep discounts, completing those purchases in yuan rather than dollars, giving rise to the so-called petro yuan. With a stronger greenback, oil contracts become more expensive because the deals are largely priced in US currency. And this also explains China's shift away from the dollar. Kepler analysis Vector Katona said Russia has effectively become an Asian nation that, in my opinion, has introduced the yuan into large-scale oil trade. So Russia, China proposed a new reserve currency, and they've been talking about this for over 10 years now. And a lot of people not paying attention to that, right? If you're not paying attention, you're not gonna know. So last year, Russia and China kickstarted talks to develop a new reserve currency with other BRICS countries in a challenge to the dollar's dominance. The new reserve unit would be based on a basket of currencies from the group's members: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The dollar's reign as a chief reserve tender is already on the wane as central bankers diversify their holdings into currencies like the Chinese yuan, the Swedish krona, and the South Korean won, according to the International Monetary Fund (IMF). All right, so you know what I mean. I said, let's go back to the author of this. We want to big him up. So the author of this is Zara Tayeb, and this article is written on January 29th, 2023. I've been stockpiling all these articles, guys. I'm ready to read them, but for some reason, I don't know why I took a break, and as you can see, I'm very rusty. But you know what? I am gaining, I am gaining, I am blessed, and I'm gaining. And the reason why I said that I'm gaining, because I can literally just start recording and start reading. Before I used to pre-read, proofread first, because you know when you register the words in your head, it's easier to read it when you go back to it. So I used to do that. Now look at me, bro. I'm flossing. Ooh, I'm a boss, yo. I'm a boss, yo. I'm flossing. No, let me stop. Anyway, so thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for checking us out, and thank you for joining and subscribing to all the loyal subscribers. Take care. Have a blessed weekend. Bam. Stay tuned for another one.